Hey there and welcome back to a new video from Think It Over.
This is the second video from the series Great Inventions and Discoveries. Today we will be talking about the top 5 greatest theories in physics, the theories which greatly influenced the world we live in, the technological evolution of human beings. These theories include the theories of some of the greatest physicists of all time. Remember that scientific theory often seeks to synthesize a body of evidence or observation of a particular phenomenon. It is generally a grander, testable statement about how nature works. One can't necessarily reduce a scientific theory to a pithy statement or equation, but it represents something fundamental about how nature works. So let's say Heisenberg to physics and begin the video.
Number 5 is Archimedes' buoyancy principle.
According to Archimedes' buoyancy principle, the force acting on a submerged or partially submerged object equals the weight of the liquid that the object displaces. This sort of principle has an immense range of applications and is essential to calculations of density as well as designing submarines and other ocean-going vessels.
Number 4, Newton's laws of motion. Newton's three laws of motion form an essential component of modern physics, and like many scientific laws, they are rather elegant in their simplicity. The first of the three laws states that an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an outside force, and vice versa, thus explaining the concept of inertia. The second law establishes a connection between an object's mass and its acceleration in the form of the equation force equals to mass times acceleration. The third law is rather pithy and should be familiar to you. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. That is, for every force applied to an object or surface, that object pushes back with equal force. Number 3 is the laws of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is a study of how energy works in a system, whether it is an engine or Earth's core. It can be reduced to several basic laws, which can be summed up as the follows. Number 1, you can't win. Number 2, you can't break even. And number 3, you can't quit the game. By saying you can't win, it is meant that since matter and energy are conserved, you can't get one without giving up some of the other. It also means that for an engine to produce work, you have to supply heat. Although in anything other than a perfectly closed system, some heat is inevitably lost to the outside world, which then leads to the second law. The second statement, you can't break even, means that due to ever increasing entropy, you can't return to the same energy state. Energy concentrated in one place will always flow to places of lower concentration. Finally, the third law, you can't quit the game, refers to absolute zero, the lowest theoretical temperature possible, measured at 0 Kelvin. When a system reaches absolute zero, molecules stop all movement, meaning that there is no kinetic energy and entropy reaches its lowest possible value. But in the real world, even in space, reaching absolute zero is impossible. You can only get very close to it.
Number 2, the theory of general relativity.
Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity remains an important and essential discovery because it permanently altered how we look at the universe. Einstein's major breakthrough was to say that space and time are not absolutes and that gravity is not simply a force applied to an object or mass. Rather, gravity is associated with any mass that curves the very space and time around it.
To conceptualize this, imagine you are traveling across the Earth in a straight line, heading east, starting somewhere in the northern hemisphere. After a while, if someone were to pinpoint your position on the map, you would actually be both far east and south of your original position. That's because Earth is curved. To travel space is pretty much the same. For example, to the occupants of the space shuttle orbiting Earth, it can look like they are traveling on a straight line through space. In reality, the space-time around them is being curved by Earth's gravity, causing them to both move forward and to appear to orbit Earth. Einstein's theory has tremendous implications for the future of astrophysics and cosmology. It explained a minor unexpected anomaly in Mercury's orbit, showed how straight line bends, and laid the theoretical foundations for black holes. Number 1. The theory of quantum mechanics. Quantum theory is the theoretical basis of modern physics that explains the nature and behavior of matter and energy on the atomic and subatomic level. The nature and behavior of matter and energy at that level is sometimes referred to as quantum physics and quantum mechanics. The development of quantum mechanics could be summed up in 4 steps.
The first one is in 1900 when Max Planck made the assumption that energy was made of individual units or quanta. Second is in 1905 when Albert Einstein theorized that not just energy but radiation itself was quantized in the same manner. The third is in 1924 when Louis de Broglie proposed that there is no fundamental difference in the makeup and behavior of energy and matter. On the atomic and subatomic level, either may behave as if made of either particles or waves. This theory became known as the principle of wave-particle duality. Elementary particles of both energy and matter behave depending on the conditions like either particles or waves. And the last one is in 1927 when Werner Heisenberg proposed that the precise simultaneous measurement of two complementary values such as the position and momentum of a subatomic particle is impossible. Contrary to the principles of classical physics, their simultaneous measurement is inescapably flawed. The more precisely one value is measured, the more flawed will be the measurement of the other value. This theory became known as the uncertainty principle, which prompted Albert Einstein's famous comment, "God does not play dice." Thanks for watching, and if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe the channel, and also don't forget to press the notification bell. And for now, just think it over.